All right, here's a little video of a guy named Dr. Nagra, something like that. Apparently he debated Dr. Chafee a while ago, and he had a little critique of my recent quote-unquote discussion, debate, whatever you want to call it, with Dr. Garth Brooks. And here's what he has to say.
Debate between vegan doctor Garth Davis and carnivore doctor Sean Baker.
I don't know. I will say, I don't know if my diet is going to make somebody live longer. I don't know if it's going to either prevent or increase the likelihood of some disease, because we just don't have the data that shows that.
As one of the biggest proponents of a carnivore diet, Sean clearly states that he actually doesn't know if this is going to lead to good or poor health outcomes in the long term. I would argue that it's likely to increase risk of colorectal cancer and cardiovascular disease compared to many diets out there just based on prior research on red meat. But what I really want to focus on here is that he still recommends it despite not even knowing if it'll be healthy in the long term. And he continuously puts out information like this, and this, and this, and this. I can keep going. Okay, I'll stop after this one. So he puts this out on social media, presumably to suggest that a carnivore diet may be healthy, or at the very least that red meat isn't unhealthy. But later in the debate suggests that his social media is just for entertainment.
It's one of your more recent videos here, and you don't need to go into like a full thing.
I'll just put the caveat,
but
the social media is kind of for entertainment purposes only in many ways, you know. I mean, but anyway, what am I saying here? I don't know.
But my big issue with that is that there's no way he doesn't know that people are going to take what he says and actually implement it into their lifestyle. So this is a message to those who follow him and actually incorporate the information he provides into their lifestyle. He clearly states that he doesn't know if this will be healthy long term, and it may actually be very unhealthy despite what he says on social media. And you can bet that he will not be held accountable if you follow his advice and end up suffering a heart attack.
Okay, my response to this. Now, the first thing he says that I said I don't know the long-term outturn of a carnivore diet, which is true. I don't think anyone does. But I mean, I think I could extend that to really any diet out there, you know, and it is the absolute height of arrogance to say that you know beyond a shadow of a doubt what something will happen down the road in all populations and all situations. Again, I repeatedly make the point that a carnivore population, a population of meat-heavy eaters that do not eat junk food, that do not eat significant carbohydrates, is a very different population, and we have no way of telling what the long-term outcomes of what those patients may or may not be. Now, you can infer and try to make your best guesses based on highly confounded studies where you conflate a McDonald's eating, meat eater to a carnivore. I just don't think that's an appropriate extrapolation of the data. I just don't, in no way, no shape or form can we make assessments, good or bad, about how long a carnivore diet will last over the long term. And the point of that debate, if you listen to the full debate, I say that in the short term, we see extremely good results. And no one is out there saying that, you shouldn't go on this medication because we don't know what the long-term results might be. There's people who take proton pump inhibitors, or people who take statins, or people who take blood pressure medications, on and on and on. There's so many medications we do. We put people on chronically for a particular reason, knowing that the long-term data is at best unknown, right? So no one has any qualms about doing that within the entire field of medicine. And to sit there and suggest that, well, because we don't have long-term 50-year trials of randomized trials on carnivore, is therefore not a reason for anyone to do it. I'm not in there suggesting that everybody in the world should do it. First of all, I'm saying in select cases, there are people that tremendously benefit from this strategy, and I will continue to maintain that position. It is the height of arrogance to say that the science is settled. To me, that is the most unscientific, arrogant, religious thing you can possibly say, when it comes to science. And so if it is his opinion that the data is unequivocally, irrefutably a certain way for all populations in all situations, then that is completely misleading and BS in my view. Now, the second point he makes is that I said the social media is for entertainment, and absolutely it is. The videos of me eating a steak where some wacko's doing something crazy, that's for laughs and yucks to get more attention, so that the underlying message that I have is, and my message isn't just eat more meat, it's exercise, get leaner, don't be sedentary, don't eat processed food, on and on these things. It's not like I'm saying sit on your ass, get fat, eat lots of meat, eat lots of saturated fat, and you're going to be happy. Anybody who's listened to me knows that's not true. And to sit there and conflate that because I have some goofy stuff on social media for entertainment purposes, because let's be honest, if you just sit there and dryly read studies all day long, no one gives a fuck, right? no one's gonna pay attention to that stuff. So you have to do something to engage your audience, and that's one thing that I do. And it's funny, sometimes this is fun. What the hell, just have some fun with this stuff. And the other thing is accountability. Am I going to be accountable for someone having a heart attack? Well, let me ask you a question. Is Dr. Nagra telling every vegan to go get a bone density test every 5 years because we know vegan diets, or at least we think we know vegan diets, are more likely to cause fractures? I don't hear him saying that. I don't hear any vegan saying that. You should serially check your bone mineral density every 5 years to make sure your bones aren't decaying. And what am I saying? I'm saying if your cholesterol is high, by all means, go get some sort of imaging study serially to confirm or deny whether or not you're developing disease. I say that all the time. So, the whole thing of accountability. I mean, there's everybody on social media is telling you to do something. Is everybody accountable? Hell, I mean, Joe Rogan tells people jujitsu is a great thing. I went and did it, hurt my neck. Am I going to sit there and sue Joe Rogan because I did jujitsu? Hell no. I mean, I understand the risks and the benefits going into these things, or at least that there are risks. And if anybody is out there saying that I'm out here saying there is no risk and we know that it's absolutely safe and everybody should be doing this, that's absolutely complete straw man garbage, right? And by the way, I'm more than happy to continue doing jiu-jitsu. I rehab my neck and I'm totally fine at this point. But, to have the arrogance to say that you know it all is, in my view, dangerous. That's more dangerous than anything I say where we say we don't. I mean, I think the honest answer, all of us should be saying we don't really know. And particularly in this instance, particularly in the context of a carnivore diet, what I would say that I think I can say with some level of at least more likelihood is not being obese, not being sedentary, not eating processed garbage is likely good for us. I think most of us would agree on that. And whether or not it's absolutely right for all people in all situations, I can't say with any degree of certainty. But what I will say is that, that's a very different situation than saying as someone who is eating meat and exercising and losing weight and putting disease into remission and has normal blood pressure, normal glucose, and all those things is at extreme high risk due to consuming more saturated fat. I think that is a very different position to take, right? Anyway, so I find this criticism to be at best a joke. Let me just point out, if Dr. Nagra is saying we know something with 100% certainty, please clarify what that is and tell me you will stand by that no matter what happens to any person on the planet. And they are welcome to sue you or to take any sort of action against you if for some reason I have a bad outcome. If you're willing to say that, I'd love to hear it. All right, you guys take care. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.